everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that can really change the way you perceive the people around you. We're going to explore how to see through a person by observing what they project onto you. You know, it's like looking into a mirror that reflects their inner fears and personality. So, buckle up, because we're going to discuss 3 common types of resistant projections.
Oh, wow, that sounds super interesting. So, what do you mean by resistant projections? Like, are we talking about how people react to us based on their own issues? Sigh.
Exactly. The first type I want to talk about is what I call habitual access. Imagine you ask someone a simple question, and they respond with disdain or impatience, almost as if your inquiry is an attack. This often stems from their own inner weakness. You see, if someone has been criticized or questioned a lot during their upbringing, they might perceive your questions as hostile.
That's really intriguing. So it's like they're projecting their own insecurities onto you? Can you give an example of that? Laughs.
Absolutely. Picture this. You're in a meeting and you ask a colleague for their opinion on a project. Instead of engaging, they roll their eyes and say something dismissive like, "Why are you even asking me?" This reaction isn't about you, it's about their fear of being judged or feeling inadequate.
Oh, I can totally see that. It's like they're putting up a wall because they're scared, right? Sigh.
Exactly. And that leads us to the second type, habitual neglect. This is when someone seems to agree with you on the surface, but completely disregards your feelings when it matters most. They often see themselves as the victim, and you as the oppressor, which makes it hard for them to take responsibility for their actions.
Wow, that's a heavy one. So, how do you deal with someone like that? Like, do you just call them out on it? Laughs.
Great question. It's tricky. You want to approach it with empathy. For instance, if a friend always dismisses your feelings during a crisis, you might say, "I feel like my concerns aren't being heard when we talk about this." It opens the door for dialogue without putting them on the defensive.
I like that. It's like you're inviting them to see your perspective without attacking them. But what about the third type? Sigh.
The third type is habitual denial. This is when someone interrupts you or shows a clear disinterest in what you're saying. They're often afraid of new perspectives or insights. Even if you're speaking calmly, they might just shut you down completely.
Oh man, that sounds frustrating. So, do you think these types of projections are common in everyday life? Like, I can imagine this happening in relationships or even at work. Laughs.
Absolutely. It's all around us. Think about it. In relationships, if one partner is always dismissing the other's feelings, it creates a toxic cycle. And in the workplace, if a team member constantly interrupts, it stifles collaboration and innovation.
Wow, that's so true. It's like we're all walking around with our own baggage, projecting it onto each other. So how do we break that cycle? Sigh.
That's the million-dollar question. It starts with self-awareness. By recognizing our own projections, we can begin to communicate more effectively and empathetically.
Remember,
how we see ourselves and others isn't the full picture, but what others see in us can reveal their true state of being.
That's a powerful thought. So, it's like we need to be mirrors for each other, reflecting not just our own issues, but also helping others see theirs. Laughs.
Exactly. It's all about fostering understanding and connection, and that's what makes human interactions so rich and complex.
Wow, I love this. Thanks for sharing all these insights. Sigh.